and welcome to my video today. This video is going to be the first of a series of videos all about health and wellness. I get asked so many questions pretty much every day about how I keep my skin clear, what my diet is, how I stay fit, and I thought the best way for me to answer those questions is in a series of videos, because there really is no one answer and there is a lot more to it than what I think many people realize. So this first video is going to be an introduction to my health journey and what I have kind of been through, I guess, throughout my life leading me up until this point. And then each video after that is going to be around a particular topic. So I'll do one video on skin, one video on mental health, one video on physical health, gut health, lots of different things. And I'll just really break it down for you so that it's easier to digest and so that you can kind of pick and choose which areas of your health and wellness you would like to learn about first, or you can watch the whole series, which I would suggest that you do because everything is interlinked. So basically I want to start off by saying that my health journey started when I really started to get in touch with my spirituality. And I believe that our spirituality and our health and wellness coincide, and that we nourish one and it nourishes the other. So in order for me personally, in order for me to have good health and wellness and good healthy mindset and a good healthy body, I need to be more in touch with my spirituality. And in order for me to be in touch with my spirituality and to really feel connected to myself, which is a lot about what spirituality is about. It's about connecting with ourselves and going inward. And in order for me to be able to truly connect with myself, and in order for me to be able to truly connect with my spirituality, I needed to nourish and take care of my body and my mind and my spirit and my health. So I'm just turning that speaker off there. So yeah, so one definitely interlinked with the other for me personally. You may not be on a spiritual journey yourself and you may not know much about spirituality, and that's fine. There are still going to be many tips and I guess many bits of knowledge that you can take from this series. But if you are a spiritual person like I am, then you will be glad to know that I very much do believe that these things go hand in hand. So with that being said, the beginning of my spiritual journey, and when I started to have a spiritual awakening, I then was almost forced to take a good look at my health and what I was doing to my body, what I was feeding my body, what I was putting on my body, what I was, washing my clothes with and washing the dishes with, what's in my environment. All of these things became important to me because I wanted to take care of my number one asset, which is my body. This vessel is my number one asset, and without this, without my mind and my body functioning at optimal levels, nothing else in my life is going to function at optimal levels, right? It all starts here, in my opinion. It all starts here, and once we have, done everything that we need to do, and when we continue to do everything that we need to do for our bodies and our minds, everything else in our life just seems to sort of smooth out and seems to sort of go in accordance or in alignment with that nourishment to our body and our mind and our soul. So my health journey, there's always been little bits and pieces of my health that have stood out to me since I was young, And so I'm just going to name a couple of things, but I'm probably going to dive deeply into each different element of my health and my personal kind of issues that I've had with my health in each section of each video, because each part of my health will be interlinked with some information that I will give you. So for example, I struggled with acne, and so I'll talk to you about that in my skin video, because those two things are related, and I will dive deeply into that in that video. But essentially, from a young age, I used to suffer very badly from terrible irritable bowel syndrome, and I would have very bad bloating, and I wouldn't go to the toilet for like 3 days straight sometimes. And that was pretty much from a very young age up until a few years ago. I would struggle so much with that, and for a long time I actually thought that was normal, and so do a lot of other people. They think that the symptoms that they're having are normal, and they don't realize that they're actually symptoms of a greater issue. And we can quite literally live in dis-ease, right? Disease, if you break that down, is dis-ease. We live in dis-ease without even really knowing, because we don't know what it's like for our body to be feeling at its best. And so a lot of people do have digestion issues and constipation, or irritable bowel syndrome, or people even have fatigue and mind fog, and they don't realize, because they've lived with it their whole life, they just think that that's just how that they are. They don't know that it could be better. It's not until you start looking into what your body really needs and how your body should actually be functioning that you realize that maybe your body could be doing better. And once you start making those changes in your lifestyle, you will start to notice that your body will start to change, and you'll start feeling a lot better, and you'll realize just how bad it's been for so long. That's what I realized in my journey, was when I started making these changes, and as I started learning more and more about what my body really needed, I started feeling a lot better and realizing, wow, I've really been actually struggling for so long with my health, not realizing what it feels like to feel really good in my body, and really having a good digestive system, and really having clarity, and having good night's sleeps, and feeling energized when I wake up. And all of these kinds of things are so closely are literally a part of your health and wellness. And a lot of people, like I said, they don't realize how long they've been dealing with something until they start to make those changes. So I struggled with bad gut health since a young age. I remember my nana giving me quick ease to ease my sore tummy, because it would get so bad that I couldn't even walk. And I remember just couldn't eat anything. My stomach was very swollen, and she'd give me quick ease, and that would make me feel a little bit better. And when I was younger, especially growing up with my grandparents, if the doctors prescribe you with something for your child, usually just give it to them instead of thinking about the side effects that it's going to have on them and their body and their system. So growing up, I had a lot of antibiotics pumped into my body for all different things when I probably could have gone without. And I also was eating a lot of sugar when I was younger, and a lot of unhealthy saturated fats, which then created issues in my adult life because it fucked with my gut health. And we're going to talk about gut health in a whole video and talk about exactly how that all works. But so I struggled with all of that, and then I went on to the contraception pill at about 14 years old, and I stopped taking the contraception pill when I was 24, so I was on it for 10 years. And so that would have had a huge impact on my health. And then when I stopped taking the contraception pill, that had a huge impact on my health and my body. When it was readjusting, I started getting a lot of issues on my skin, and when I started to look into curing those issues on my skin, lots of other things started coming up. In the past, I've had issues with massive big boils in my armpits, literally to the point where I couldn't dress myself. I couldn't get very good night's sleeps. They were consistent, and again I was put on antibiotics, and without the knowledge that I have now about antibiotics and what they do to your body, I was taking them willingly, and I was taking a very strong antibiotic every day for 3 months straight, which had a huge effect on my health, and it didn't even stop the boils. They still kept coming, and it wasn't until I actually had 3 at once, 2 in one armpit. I'll just see if I can show you some scars. So I've got 1 scar there, and I've got 2 scars there. 1 there and 1 there. It looks like I've been shot with an arrow or something. So my boils actually got so bad, and actually at the time I didn't have a lot of money, so I couldn't keep going to the doctors all the time, paying doctors' bills to get them to just give me antibiotics. They weren't giving me any answers about why I was getting these boils. They literally told me I was going to have to live as a person who just gets boils all the time, and it blew my mind, and I just didn't understand how there couldn't be an underlying issue there, but they just kept prescribing me with painkillers and antibiotics, and I was having regular visits to get them popped. Anyway, I didn't have a lot of money, and I let these 3 get so bad that I had to actually admit myself to hospital, and they put me under because I was in so much pain that they couldn't go anywhere near them without me being under. And I had surgery. They removed them. They told me that because my boils were so bad, what they did was, instead of taking everything out and stitching it up to stop further infection, they actually left the wounds open, stuffed them with cotton and this mesh stuff to help them to heal from the inside out. I know that's too much information and quite gruesome, but I really want to be super transparent and open with you about my health journey, because I know that there are so many people who struggle with things similar to this, and everything is so closely interconnected. All these different issues that I was having are so interconnected, and it wasn't until later that I really started diving into my spirituality and into my healing journey that I started to learn from people in the holistic industry about how they're all interconnected and what I can actually do about it. So yeah, anyway, after that I stopped getting boils, and I think that had to do with a lot of things, but it was a horrible experience, and I never ever got any answers at the time about why I might be getting them and what to do about getting rid of them. So that was quite disheartening. And then I also have struggled in the past with candida, and am still working really hard to really kick that in the ass. This is something that I will make a specific video about, because this is a huge topic, but a lot of people, especially women, I'm pretty sure men can too, but mostly women, suffer with candida, and candida can cause so many health issues, and we are completely unaware of the effects that it's having, and go undiagnosed for so long and never do anything about it. And don't get me wrong, the things that you will have to do in order to see real results in your health aren't easy. There is no quick fix, there is no pill or regime. It is trial and error and consistency, and making a little bit of sacrifice sometimes with certain foods and certain habits, like drinking a lot of alcohol or doing a lot of drugs, that you will have to maybe take a look at and ask yourself what's more important, your health and your well-being and your mental health, or these things that you're eating or these activities that you're doing. So yeah, I struggled with that. I also had, I was struggling with a bacteria infection on my face along with my acne, and I was also struggling with a fungal infection on my back, and no one could give me answers about anything. And it wasn't until I started talking to, like I said, people in the holistic industry and started to really connect the dots with everything that I realized I started to learn a little bit more about what was going on, and then could finally tackle it from the inside out using natural resources. Okay, I didn't take any medication from the doctors for anything. I didn't take any steroids or any antibiotics or anything. I don't take medications, I don't take painkillers, I don't take anything unless I'm absolutely in agony, I will not take any prescribed medications ever, because it's not good for my body and I would rather not have that shit in my body. I always go to my herbalist if I'm struggling with anything health related before I'll go anywhere else, and there are a number of incredible supplements and goodies that you can be taking that are all natural, that will resolve everything. Mother Earth has everything that you need to keep you healthy. We were born into this world. Everything that we need is here. We don't need to be taking concoctions given to us from doctors. Absolutely, there is a time and a place, but I believe that the best way to go about anything to do with your health and mental health is holistically. So yeah, that's a little bit of my background with my health issues and health journey. And about 4 years ago now, I started my spiritual journey, which I said goes hand in hand with my health journey, and I started to learn more about the kinds of foods that I was eating. I started to learn about the kinds of mindset and mental health, I guess not so much issues, but the importance of our thoughts when it comes to how we feel in our body and how our body heals and how we are presented in this world. Our mind is so important when it comes to healing the body, when it comes to feeling good, and when we learn more about how to work with our mind and work with our mental health, I believe that we can make huge leaps in our health and huge leaps in our mental health, because that's where it all really starts. And our mind is so much more powerful than we are led to believe. And I have seen so many incredible results myself just from working with my mind, not let alone all the physical health things that I do. And I'll talk about that in a video as well. I stopped drinking alcohol. I pretty much don't drink alcohol at all now. I have one glass of wine for a very special occasion every now and then, but drinking alcohol for me is not something that I want to have in my lifestyle. It's not something that I actually really enjoy. I do enjoy a nice good glass of wine every now and then, but that's about as far as that goes. I also only smoke weed on the occasion now. I used to smoke weed every single day and felt like it was a very important part of my life. But as I have grown and as I have, I guess, come further down in my journey, it doesn't feel like it aids me in the way that it used to. And it actually was hindering my success and hindering my ability to focus and to get ahead. So I don't smoke weed as much as I used to. I'll smoke it before I go to a gym if I'm going to go to the gym, because I always get a better workout when I'm high, and I'll smoke it before I film any content because it relaxes my body and just gets me in the flow, gets me in the mood. Or I'll smoke it if I've got a day off and I'm going out into nature or something like that, then I'll have a good smoke, or if I'm having a movie night or something like that, but I'll do it as an occasional thing rather than something that I feel like I need to have in my life, in my day-to-day life, and I won't be smoking it every single day. Like I said, I don't take any medication. I've never taken any medication for my mental health, which I fully understand why people do, and I completely respect anyone who makes that decision. But for me, I've always tried really hard to do everything that I can before I've ever needed to do that, and I've always managed to use the tools that I've learned over time to manage my mental health. And I would prefer a natural route when it comes to my mental health. So I'll actually take, certain supplements or herbals for my mental health rather than something prescribed from a doctor. Like I said, talk to my herbalist before I make any decisions about what I'm taking, any supplements or any if I make any dietary changes, I will talk to my herbalist about what I might need. So if I'm going completely vegan, then I make sure that I've got everything that I need so that my body is still getting all the nutrients it needs. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for an introduction to my health journey and a little bit about the things that I have done. And I'm going to really break down each individual section of everything, and I'm going to dive so deeply into everything. I'm going to teach you everything that I've learnt from reading books, from listening to podcasts, from talking to professionals, from trial and error, from spending mega bucks on lots of different things, from doing loads of different cleanses, and I've even just recently done a water fast. Lots of different mental health and mindset things that I find have been helping with my physical well-being and just my overall health. Lots and lots of goodies, and I'm going to be sharing it all with you. So yeah, thank you so much for listening to this video. You probably didn't get too much from this, but maybe you have heard something that I have struggled with in the past, especially gut health and digestion. That's a huge one. Pretty much everyone has suffered from some sort of digestion issue, and there are so many different reasons why that could be, but it really does all boil down to one fundamental thing, which I'll talk to you about in further videos. Thank you for watching this video today, and I will see you in my next one. Have a beautiful day.